Today's next distinguished guest speaker is Federal Member for Wales. Please welcome Mr. Peter Khalil from Australian Labor Party.
Hi everyone. Firstly, I want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and pay my respects to their elders past and present, because they have been here since the beginning of recorded time, over 70,000 years. Thank you all for coming today. It's really important that you come out and show your support for our opposition to this very unfair law. You know, my parents migrated from Egypt to Australia 45 years ago, over 45 years ago. And Mark and some of the earlier speakers have talked about the English language test being set at university level. Well, I know that they spoke good English, they had good conversational English, but they would never have passed that test when they came here, nor would my grandparents who came here. And in fact, the first day that Dad got here, he told me a story. He had a taxi, he got a taxi to go to a friend's place, and he gave the taxi driver the address, and he said, it's on this street in Pahran. Now, after about 45 minutes of trying to figure out what Pahran was, the taxi driver finally clicked and he said, oh mate, you mean Paran? And my dad said, no, Pahran, it's spelled P-R-A-H-R-A-N. He spoke good English, he could actually read English. He didn't know it was pronounced Paran. He was a lawyer in Egypt. You know, he was well educated. My mum went to university as well. But they came here and they worked hard to give my sister and I a better life. Dad worked at Australia Post, Mum worked in factories, my grandparents worked in factories. My nana, my teta, didn't even speak English, still doesn't, she's 93. She understands very well, but she spent 50 years working in factories. There are millions of Australians who have come to this country, who have worked hard, who've paid their taxes, who've raised their families, who've contributed to their communities, to charities, who've done good works. Now, to me, that is full integration. That is full integration. When this government, when Peter Dutton says, oh, you've got to spend another 4 years to be integrated, what does integration actually mean? It means what I've just described, the commitment that people have made to this country, and they are now trying to deny people the ability to pledge their allegiance to this country that they now call home. The English language test is also wrong, because most Australians, as Mark said, would probably not even be able to actually pass that test. So what message is it sending all of those Australians? And the final reason that I have a real problem and why we oppose this bill is the national security reasons. It's a dubious argument that the government has made that there's national security issues. Well, hold on. There's people who have been here for multiple years, 5, 6, 7 years. I had a pair of Indian doctors, husband and wife, who came to my office to tell me their story. They've been here 9 years. They've got 3 kids. The first doctor applied before the 20th of April for citizenship. Won't get it according to these laws. The husband applies after the 20th of April and they won't get it. So the wife will actually be able to become a citizen. It's a completely arbitrary law. It makes no sense. And if there is a national security problem, what about the initial security checks that people have gone through to get their visas to be in this country? Shouldn't we be looking at those? So there's actually no argument being made. This is an attempt to deny you, people who have come to this country, who've migrated here, who've made a commitment to this country, to deny those people the right to pledge allegiance to Australia, to become Australians. 4 years you have to wait. You have to pass a level 6 English language test. We're going to fight against this law. As Mark said, we are going to fight it all the way through into the Senate. But we need your help. We need you, as other speakers have said, to talk to people, to sign the petition, to make a noise, to write letters to your members of parliament, to write letters to the government. This is an unfair law. You know, millions of Australians have come to this country and made this country their home, including my parents. As a migrant, I'm proud to be Australian. I'm proud of my cultural heritage. And the last thing I'll leave you with is this. You don't have to choose when you're an Australian. You don't have to choose between your identities. You can be proud to be Vietnamese background, or Italian, or Greek, or Indian, or Pakistani. You can be proud of that heritage. You can be proud of your faith, whatever faith you have, whatever cultural and ethnic heritage you have, and still be a proud Australian. That's what our multiculturalism means. It is actually a strength of our society. Our diversity And the diversity that we have in this country is a strength of Australia. And I've always said, we shouldn't just tolerate diversity and cultural diversity, we should embrace it, because that's what makes Australia such a great country. You make Australia such a great country, and we're going to fight for you. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so much for your support on this matter, Peter. It means a lot to us.